Why do we specifically say l'chaim on alcohol?
There's a Gemara that says G'dei l'gima shemakareves. The Rebbe would often cite it. If you look at the Gemara up inside, you'll see that this is true not only in Kedusha, it's true also in Lumah. L'gima, when people drink together, it brings people closer together. To be sure, it's not only true of drink, it's true of food also. There's nothing in the world that brings people closer than food and drink, which is why there are very strict halachas about eating and drinking with a non-Jew. And it's interesting how people don't even know this. You go to a business lunch with a goy, it's a question if you're allowed to sit with them and eat, because there's no greater thing you can do that brings two hearts together than food and drink. And especially when you're drinking something which has a little bit of alcohol, which makes you happy and removes your inhibitions, it brings people closer together. And that's the meaning of saying l'chaim. The purpose of a fabrengen is, like Rabbi Futefas always used to say, good bruderschaft. It should be a brotherhood. We should be close. And we should tear down the natural barriers that exist between people. And we should be closer to our own souls, and therefore the soul of one and the soul of another is able to be closer together, which is the purpose of a Chassidish fabrengen. And that's why Chassidim say l'chaim. There's also an old Chassidic expression that quotes the Chazal that say, Mashkin asabahim lefnei hashchita. That even on Yom Kippur, the fact is that when an animal is shechted, animal's killed, and you want to remove the skin, one of the ways of making it easier to peel away the skin is the animal drinks a lot prior to its being shechted. So before they would slaughter an animal in the Beis HaMikdash, they would give them to drink a lot of water, which made it easier to remove the skin once they had shechted it. So on Yom Kippur, they did it in a gold basin. Everything on Yom Kippur is ein aniyas b'makam ashiras. So the animal had to drink water for practical reasons, but it drank it out of a gold basin. And the nimshal is that a fabrengen is a shchita. Now, shchita doesn't mean to kill. Shchita means to raise up. But if to raise a person from a lower level to a higher level, sometimes it's not so pleasant. Because to go from a lower level to a higher level, it says in Hasidus, you have to go through two things. A nahar dinur and an amud. You have to go through a river of fire, which takes you out of the old, and a beam of light, a keren oida, which raises you up into the new. So the keren oida, the beam of light which raises you up into the new, is pleasant. But the nahar dinur, the river of fire, isn't so pleasant. So there's the mashkinas. You make it a little easier to make the transition by saying a little bit of l'chaim. But you know and I know that the Rebbe was very serious and very intent on limiting how people say l'chaim. The Rebbe was very concerned not only about chilul Hashem, but about the abuse of mashke, where drinking in the name of Hasidus has the exact opposite effect of Hasidus. And it's really very serious that people until 40 should keep the gezeda that the Rebbe made very clearly and repeated so many times. I mean, there's few things that the Rebbe repeated so many times like his gezeda about mashke.